For Tottenham Hotspur, the 2025-26 season ended not with a trophy, but with a narrow escape. A final day victory over Everton was the only thing that kept the club from dropping into the Championship, surviving the drop by just a handful of points. That near collapse was the result of a decade of structural fractures in how the club assembled its playing staff. Over several seasons, the club spent astronomical sums on individual signings that lacked any shared tactical purpose. This scattergun approach produced a roster of expensive, disjointed profiles that struggled to function as a single unit on the pitch. To address this, the club turned to Roberto De Zerbi, who has introduced a strategy built on technical resilience and uncompromising leadership. The focus has shifted away from speculative, high-cost prospects. Instead, Spurs are operating with a clinical urgency to secure specific profiles that fit a defined system. The first phase of the rebuild prioritizes defensive stability, targeting experienced Premier League players to anchor the backline before the window even officially opens. This began with the arrival of Andy Robertson on a free transfer. At 32, the former Liverpool captain has spent years navigating high-pressure title races and European finals. Robertson provides a level of leadership and a winning mentality that the dressing room lacked during the previous season's relegation scare. They followed this by securing Robertson Senesi on a 4-year deal, adding a second battle-hardened defender to De Zerbi's rotation. By landing 2 high-caliber defenders without paying a single pound in transfer fees, the club has kept its primary capital intact to spend on the attack. This proactive business is a direct departure from previous summers, where the club often waited until the final hours of the August deadline to chase compromise deals. Now that preserved capital is being deployed on high-tempo, progressive targets, specifically chosen to execute De Zerbi's tactical identity. The club is pursuing Brighton centre-back Jan-Paul van Heek, with a valuation nearing £70 million. De Zerbi is seeking a reunion with a player who already understands the intricacies of his defensive shape. That pursuit has been publicly endorsed by his international teammate, Mickey van de Ven, suggesting a focus on building a cohesive, Dutch-led defensive partnership. In midfield, the club is working to secure João Palhinha from Bayern Munich, providing the aggressive screening necessary to protect the back four during high-pressing sequences. On the attacking wing, they are closing in on Savinho. His ability to carry the ball at pace makes him a primary candidate to drive the fluid attacks De Zerbi demands. These targets show a club no longer collecting disjointed maize, but investing in specific athletic profiles required for a high-pressing system. This summer, Tottenham has replaced its reactive recruitment model with a structured process that prioritizes system familiarity over market availability. By pairing veteran leadership with dynamic, system-specific players, the squad is better equipped to handle the physical demands of the Premier League. This transition suggests that the club is preparing for a sustained climb back toward the European places. Assessing this squad based on their performance in 2026 ignores the fact that the personnel and the philosophy behind them have been entirely replaced. While other clubs compete for the same high-profile stars, Tottenham is methodically filling specific gaps in their roster with players suited for the manager's football. With the defensive foundation in place and tactical reinforcements arriving, the De Zerbi era is beginning with a level of structure that makes Tottenham Hotspur a credible threat to the top of the table.